This week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, DeerCast editor-in-chief Tim Kjellesvik is ready to let an arrow fly as he plays the odds on a variety of different hunting setups.
We are going public land in a saddle.
And he's also attempting to get his good friend Melissa Hollingshad on a show me whitetail of her own.
20 years is a long time.
And that's just some of the whitetail action we have in store for you on this episode.
So I've never really put in food plots before. I've always been a permission land kind of guy, hunting wherever I can. I asked the landowner if she'd give me permission to put in a small kill plot. She agreed. We go out there, we tame this jungle of an overgrown timberback. We were in there cutting vines, cutting down trees. Eventually we got everything cleared out, we limed it, we fertilized it, and then we hit it real hard with biologic hotspot. Because the deer tend to move through that property, they never stuck around, I wanted to give the safe buck a reason to hang out on this little 9 acres. We hung a muddy stand, we put a muddy blind in there, so I had plenty of options if indeed he would just read the script and come through to the plot.
You know, for as little rain as this spot has gotten, and considering it's the first year that anything has been done to improve the soil, that biologic hotspot is really not looking too bad. I'm anxious to go check those pictures on that card and see if there's anything coming through here that's worthy of an arrow come opening day.
The safe buck is kind of an interesting deer for me because I've never really had target deer in the past, but I've hunted this property long enough and I started to recognize certain deer, and the safe buck was certainly one that was mature in 2020, even more so in 2021, and I knew that I really wanted to get after him.
Okay, it's game time, so it's opening day. Everything is within 40 yards of the stand.
There were deer certainly piling out into that food plot, and it was so nice to see that the plot's working, the design's working.
One of my favorite new features of DeerCast is the food plot management tool. It tells me the acreage. It lets me put in here what I planted. That kind of record keeping helps me keep track of everything I got going resource-wise. It's definitely a really slick little tool.
DeerCast is calling for a good day today. I've got to work, so I'm going to come in a little bit late to the studio, hopefully after I've killed the safe buck, but I'm back on the suburban property. I might grab some latex gloves from my truck. I normally keep them in there for field dressing. I might actually put them on to get into the stand. That way I'm surgically clean going into the stand.
I was out in the muddy stand again, waiting to see if I could catch a glimpse of the safe buck. To the north of me, through the timber, it's very thick, I can see the rat coming.
I see it moving back there, I just can't know what it is. It's the safe buck, he's been there.
Get ahead of your game with a 14-day DeerCast prediction, mapping, radar, wind check, rain station, path tracking, and more. Prep, predict, and pursue with DeerCast.
Winchester USA Ready Defense is a select grade of personal defense ammunition that offers a unique combination of stopping power, penetration, and reliable expansion. The innovative hex vent rigid insert shields the hollow point by channeling soft material for positive expansion and energy transfer. Built with match-grade primers for trusted reliability. Be ready when you need it most with USA Ready Defense.
I'm turning on all my cameras, getting ready, and he's taking his time. He's in no hurry. And then I make the stupidest mistake. The safe buck is probably 30 yards off. The release falls and hits the metal platform of my stand.
I'm just sick. He just turned, lifted his tail halfway, and walked off.
It's so hard for me to watch that footage. I can't believe I screwed him up and he did a 180. With a big buck like that, I just don't know if I'm gonna get a second chance at him. I'm gonna give the safe buck a rest. We're heading into November, and I have this managed hunt that I'm doing on public ground. And I got permission from the St. Louis County Parks Superintendent, and I got permission from a representative from the Missouri Department of Conservation to film my hunt. We are going public land in a saddle. And yesterday I was out doing a little walking around, and I found a great set of rubs and scrapes back in a cedar transition area where it moves into kind of an oak hillside.
There are scrapes right there. This is the tree I'm gonna get up into with the saddle.
So I've got a favorable deer cast for this hunt. I've got the Hawk Helium saddle. I'm gonna go scale that tree, and I cannot wait to see what's gonna pile out of those cedars.
I'm hunting off of deer side. I have 0 pictures of any deer back here. We'll see if my old school woodsmanship skills can pay off. There's a buck. That was a good hit. I didn't have time to turn all my cameras on. You talk about close. You just can't get closer than that. Wow.
The cool thing about DeerCast track is I can see what organ I hit, and so right here it's showing me definitely in the lung area. And I did hear him cough when he was back up in the cedars, like something was wrong with his respiratory system. So that's a great confirmation. We're gonna sneak back up there, take a look at the arrow, and then take a peek back in the cedars and see if we can find him. The scene of the crime. We look back into the cedars and we see something that no hunter wants to see, and that's a set of eyes glowing back. We can't confirm that it's him. We just see 2 eyes staring back at us from the darkness. So here DeerCast track played the devil's advocate, told me to wait longer than I expected. I'm backing out and we're gonna head back in tomorrow morning.
Big spatter right here and on the tree. And there's lots of blood. These aren't just little pinpricks, these are big splatters.
Oh, there he is. That's right where he was last night. That was him. Oh man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10. He's a 10. He's mine.
That's public land hunting.
Mossy Oak works, what can we say?
Wow, a Missouri public land stud. This guy came in looking for a fight, and he sure got it. Just wasn't the guy he was looking for. St. Louis County Parks opened up their grounds for managed hunts. Using the saddle to get back into really thick cover, that was huge. Scent control, the scent management, I crushed all my gear. I used nose jammer on my boots as I came in. This guy came in, he was probably at 8 or 10 steps. Very, very close. Didn't hurt that he was also focused in on the other younger buck looking to brawl. And just like that, my Missouri public land managed hunt deer tag is punched. What an incredible night. DeerCast said great, and it really was great.
DeerCast is now supercharged with maps. Get ahead of your game with killer new features like live Doppler radar, wind check out to 5 days, virtual rain gauges, GPS path tracking, and more. Plus, get our 14-day revolutionary DeerCast prediction and access to DeerCast Track. Prep, predict, and pursue with DeerCast.
DeerCast editor-in-chief Tim Kjellesvik is coming off of a high after his Missouri public land saddle hunt. But there's still a lingering task heavy on his mind, the safe buck. Let's see if Tim can close the chapter on this elusive whitetail.
It's November 12th, back in the stand, another great DeerCast day, and a doe filters into the food plot. And when that doe came out, I realized there was a setting that was wrong on my camera. It was way too dark. It wasn't shooting like it should. And I look up and I see, oh no, at 20 yards, there's a buck in the plot. It's the safe buck. Grab my bow very slowly, the whole time just dying inside because it's so quiet. And he walks behind a tree and I come to full draw. Strike number 2.
I can't talk. What's up, guys? It's November 15th, and we are hoping to cap off a 20-year quest this morning to get my buddy Melissa her first racked buck.
She's married to my buddy Chance Hollingshed. They own Devil's Backbone Outfitters, so I've got the mission crossbow, and I invited her up to try to kill her very first whitetail buck and try to enjoy the season a little bit more. So we got to the blind, got set up, and we didn't have to wait long. About 7:30, Melissa starts whispering,
Tim, there's a buck. It's up in like the right-hand corner of my scope.
Yeah, just give him time. He's at 40 yards. Shoot him what if you want. Right now? Yeah.
Did I get him? Oh my gosh. That was insane. I'm shaking. How many yards was he at? 40?
Yeah. The elevation on the shot was great. It was just, it was a little far to the left. But we're gonna give it a couple minutes and then go out and check to see if there's any blood on the ground.
We waited about a half hour. We walk over to where the deer was hit, and there is blood all over the leaves. With such a questionable shot, we were really tenuous about what to expect, but given the amount of blood that was on the ground, it was something that kind of lifted our hopes a little bit. It only took us about 3 minutes to encounter the deer. Melissa took a final shot, hit it in the heart, and put it down immediately. She had her first buck, something that took her 2 decades to accomplish.
20 years is a long time.
The Winchester Model 70, the rifleman's rifle.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, November 26th. I am going to set up on the small suburban food plot that I set up for my target buck. I don't deserve to kill this deer. I've had 2 opportunities at him and I have blown them both.
Well, it's November 26th. It's 20 degrees in the morning. I got a great deer cast, so I'm heading out to the stand to try to get after him one more time.
Is frost this morning. Pressure's forecast to be like 30.25, something like that. That's pretty good. Anything over 30 this time of year. Well, there's the first action of the morning.
A wacky rack buck walked through the plot, but then about 10 minutes later, I noticed movement on the far ridge to my east. And then, from out of the shadows, it's the safe buck.
just killed the safe buck. I just killed the safe buck.
He's down. I watched him go down. There's no track job. The safe buck is safe no longer.
Did you get him?
I killed the safe buck.
Yay!
And I just watched him go down. Oh my goodness.
Yay, congratulations.
Down out of the stand, got all my stuff packed up. I want to go check out the arrow. I don't know if it was a full pass through. I was kind of losing my mind that entire time. There's the view to kill from. Look at that. Oh boy.
The safe buck, here he is in all his glory. We built this plot just for this deer, came in with a bunch of hot spot from Biologic and planted it over the summertime and hung some stands for him. And I had 2 encounters with him previously and he came back in this morning. DeerCast was calling for a great morning. I saw a few does, saw a wacky rack buck come through, and then he came through around 7:30. It all happened just like I had hoped it would. But I gotta tell you, I am so happy to be sitting behind him right now and happy to share the entire saga of him with you guys.
This segment presented by DeerCast Winchester. Hunt the wind up to 5 days in advance.
Next week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, Adam Anderson is putting in the work to get a whitetail buck for not only himself, but also a good friend, JT Burton, and his father, Lenny Anderson. We can't wait to bring it to you, so make sure to mark those calendars and join us for next week's show.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Sportsman's Channel, your home for everything red, wild, and blue.